I think going to film school in college, being a film major, taught me a lot. And it's just like been a helpful way for me to learn the craft, right? And have that. I started an internship recently. I also still work part-time at the coffee shop. I'm a barista, right? And so I have like basically two jobs. But I was gonna say I had an artist event recently that I organized for my community. I did screen a cut of my upcoming short film. It's called, literally, I had a little bit of a breakdown where like 2 days I was crying because what happened was that, okay, after my artist event, one thing that I did was I stopped wearing makeup. I haven't worn makeup for a week now. A week today, and sounds so insignificant, like if you don't wear makeup, right? Like I don't remember when this started, but I was starting to wear makeup every day when I was out, and that was just like a lot of pressure on myself. It's such a small thing, but I think for me it became a thing about perfectionism and holding myself to an impossibly high standard of having to look good all the time. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is itsdianachristine, and on my YouTube channel I share my creative journey as a writer and a filmmaker. I document the lessons I learn along the way and share it with you guys. I also talk about self-development and spirituality related topics because I'm super passionate about those topics. So I created this space for you if you're also a creative person who wants to become their best self. Let's help each other stay inspired on our journey. And I believe that my creative journey and my self-development journey are one, so I can't separate them, and I really want to share this part of my life with you. In today's video, before I start, let me just preface by saying I am recording this on my laptop. I'm really annoyed because I was filming a video on my phone like I usually do. So this is my old phone. I use it for audio, and I have my other phone that is my regular phone, and I film videos on that phone, and I record audio usually on my old phone. But I ran out of storage, guys. Like, I was filming a video, it was going well, I was in the groove, and then I ran out of storage, and I was like, okay, let me just delete a few videos, and it worked for a minute, and then I ran out of storage again, so I'm gonna have to delete a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It has not happened to me. This is the first time this has happened to me I had this phone for 3 years already, so I think it's like reaching its maximum. It's like had enough, I think this phone has had enough because I've had it for almost 4 years, actually, like 3 or 4 years. But anyway, in today's video, I want to share an update with you. I missed making YouTube videos. I missed posting on YouTube and connecting with you guys. And because I was posting a YouTube video weekly in the summer when I had more time. But I wanted to share with you the whirlwind of the past few weeks that I've had, and all my life updates and updates about my creative projects, and also just things I've been pondering, things that have helped make my life better, that I've implemented, that I want to share with you, and share my thoughts with you. So, as you know, I talked about this in my previous YouTube video, and I've also posted about this on my Instagram, my TikTok, and my newsletter. So I'll put the link to all my socials down below. I highly recommend that you subscribe to my newsletter because I post there monthly. So you get monthly updates from me, and also like inspirational reminders for your creative journey in your email inbox. And I post daily on Instagram and TikTok. I'm always posting on my Instagram story. I'm always posting on my TikTok, just behind the scenes, my daily life updates and things like that. Also like inspirational stuff, motivational stuff, that, lessons that I learn daily, things like that. So it's a good time. You should join. And anyway, yeah, so I started an MFA program recently. That's why I've been so busy. So in my previous video, that was before I started the program. I talked about how I was about to start MFA in film. I was about to be a film student, and I'm a few weeks in, and it has been a whirlwind. Like it got so busy so fast. I got an internship, which is good. I recently started it. It's at a documentary company that I'm going to be helping them make a documentary feature film, which is super exciting. I'm excited to learn, and I decided to become a film student because I want to have a space to develop my craft. I think there's a lot that I still want a space to develop. Like I went to film school for undergrad. Like I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in film and video, but I think there's still so much more that I can learn. And I also think that having that environment is super helpful for having those built-in collaborators, mentors, and having resources like equipment and just like a bunch of knowledge, right? And it's really in this like contained space. And I think going to film school in college, being a film major, taught me a lot. And it's just like been a helpful way for me to learn the craft, right? And to, I've also been, doing my own thing. So, I mean, I'm pretty early in my filmmaking career. As a filmmaker, I made a short documentary and a short narrative film. My short narrative film is actually gonna come out on YouTube. I'm posting it. I want to post it in October so bad. But before I like get into things, because there's so much to talk about, guys, like I want to say, yes, I've been doing film school. Like I started an internship recently. I also still work part-time at the coffee shop. I'm a barista, right? And so I have like basically 2 jobs, school. I also want to do freelance. There's so much I want to do. There's so many things, But I was going to say I had an artist event recently that I organized for my community. I did screen a cut of my upcoming short film. It's called If She Didn't Get Turned Into a Vampire. I share updates about that film on my Instagram a ton, on TikTok. And I showed a cut. It was really nice to get feedback, to hear people's reactions. And we're almost so close to finishing it. I'm working with 2 other people on my post-production team, my editor and my composer / sound mixer. And we're so close. We're almost there. I'm really excited. And I want to share with you other things. Like we made short video promos. I'm also going to make a digital zine that encapsulates the journey of making my first fiction film, so I can share that with you. I also want to make merch. Like I have a tote bag design and a sweatshirt design in mind. I just have to do it. Like I have to, but I'm letting myself take my time to do it. And anyway, I do want to share that I had a breakdown last week. Like literally I had a little bit of a breakdown where like 2 days I was crying because what happened was that, after my artist event, I was really burnt out. I realized how burnt out I was because I started planning that artist event in the summer. And that was before I started film school. That was before I started grad school. So I underestimated how busy it would get really quickly. And I was like, you know what? It's going to be still at the beginning of the year. It's going to be in early September. I'm only going to be like a few weeks into my grad school program. How bad can it be? I'll simplify everything. And it was very overwhelming and it was really fun. It was an amazing experience and I definitely want to keep organizing artist events. And I just want to keep bringing people together, sharing our work, connecting with each other, just bringing community together, just hanging out, and carving out space for each other, right? And to stay in touch with each other. And I wanted to, anyway, yeah, so that happened. But after the event, I still had to, right after I had to like submit an assignment that night. And then I had to go to my classes, I had to go to work, right? At the coffee shop. I had to just so many things. And like, even just, I like broke down one day. Like I just realized that how I was not okay. Like I just cried a ton and it was good to let all those emotions out. I cried a ton. I also had to skip class on one day last week. And I decided to rest. Like I came home, I rested, and I also talked to my therapist, and what she told me was that she said that I need to have something that I do just for me because I feel like I got so burnt out and so wrapped up, almost like in perfectionism. So what I did was that I stopped. So I did a few things that helped me after my breakdown, and I feel so much better this week. I feel so much better now, but it's definitely things that I want to implement moving forward, and I want to share them with you. So one thing that I did was I stopped wearing makeup. I haven't worn makeup for a week now. A week today, and sounds so insignificant, like if you don't wear makeup, right? Like but I went through a phase, I feel like this year, where I started or even like I think starting last year, or I don't remember when this started, but I was starting to wear makeup every day when I was out. Like, for example, like with my coffee shop job, when I started working there in the spring and summer, I was working there full time. I was wearing makeup every single day to work. Like, I haven't gone a day to work without a full face of makeup until last week. That was my first day that I didn't go to work with a full face of makeup. And that was just like a lot of pressure on myself. It's such a small thing, but I think it was, and I think, don't get me wrong, I love makeup. I love getting ready. I love getting cute. But I think for me, it became a thing about perfectionism and holding myself to an impossibly high standard of having to look good all the time and having to look put together all the time. And I think like it didn't allow me to have love for myself when I was in that perfect image, right? So after I was like putting myself together, after, crying a lot and realizing how tired I was, realizing how much I needed to actually take care of myself, right? I decided to stop wearing makeup because I decided I don't care if I look good to others. I don't care about performing for others anymore. Like, it was like that thought. Like, I was like, I'll just have to love myself and accept myself in all my forms, embrace myself in my natural bare face. And it felt so good because what that did, not wearing makeup and taking that out of my routine, since I have so much on my plate, right? With school, work, things, like I have so much on my plate. I realized like I have a lot going on. Let me take one thing off my plate. And that one thing off my plate was doing my makeup daily. And that gave me time. Like it was so relieving because I was almost afraid of not wearing a full face of makeup to go outside, to go to work, to go to school, because I thought, oh my God, what if I'm going to be seen by people, things like that. And then I was like I started to take myself out of that mindset, and I was like, like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, I don't have to look perfect. I never owed anyone that. I never owed anyone looking put together all the time. That doesn't say anything about me. That doesn't say everything about me, and, it goes really deep. I hope that you understand what I mean, right? And I started having the time that I would have woken up early to really put myself together. And don't get me wrong, when I started making a commitment to look pretty every day and look put together every day, that genuinely did help with my confidence at first. It did help me feel more ready, right? And it was almost like I was looking forward to it. Like, I would wake up looking forward to putting my full face of makeup on and listening to music, listening to a podcast, right? Listening to affirmations, and that genuinely was nice in the beginning. And then I think maybe like it got to a point where it stopped feeling good, and it started feeling like too much, and it started being exhausting. So I guess I just needed a break, maybe like a reset. And the time that I would have taken to get ready, I was able to sleep in more. I was able to finish some homework, right? I was able to meditate and do yoga. Oh my God, guys, this past week I started doing yoga. Like, I looked up short yoga, like 10-minute yoga on YouTube, and I started doing that. I started doing a short guided meditation on YouTube, and then right after I would do the 10-minute yoga routine that I found on YouTube. And that was so nice. I genuinely, like, it was so crazy how good that felt. Like, I felt so good. It felt like a reset. It felt like I felt like I was pouring into myself. I felt full, and then that affected the way my day planned out. I also I'm trying to drink less caffeine. I'm trying, it's tough because I drink a lot. I'm dependent on caffeine. Like, I drink coffee and things like that. So I'm trying to drink less caffeine and just like really care for my nervous system almost, So I'm sharing all of this to say that if you feel overwhelmed or you feel like you do put too much on your plate, try to take something off, see what you can do, because you can only do so much, and you don't have to hold yourself to the perfectionism standard. For me, I think that sometimes I have to re-examine my motive for things. Like, do I want to look put together And do I want to have ambition and have these goals because I want to be loved? Because I think like if I am prettier, if I'm more successful, if I'm this, or once I have this, then I'll deserve love. And then it makes me have this transactional view of love, of self-worth, right? And it can be overwhelming, and it can be a lot. So I'm sharing this because I hope that it might resonate with you in some way. Like if you're you know what I mean? Like I feel like we all experience this to an extent, or we all might go through phases where we experience burnout and being really hard on ourselves. So I'm saying this to maybe give you some inspiration. Like if you've ever been curious, right? Like about trying meditation or an exercise like yoga or just walking in the park, things like that. Like do things in the morning. The morning is so important for setting the stage for your day. Do something in your morning that, whether it's a nature walk, it's listening to a guided meditation, praying, stretching, drinking water, gratitude, right? Things like that. Like do something where you're gonna prime yourself for the day. That's super important. And yeah, give yourself a reset if you feel overwhelmed of some sort. Like my makeup example, maybe you stop wearing makeup and learn how to embrace yourself in all forms, and realize that when I stopped wearing makeup, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. Like this change, right? Like it sounds so small, but I was, like I said, almost scared to go outside with no makeup and to be seen in my bare face. And I'm like, go to school like that? You know, what will people think of me? Or go to work like that? Like, what will people think of me? You know? And then you realize, first of all, like, it's not a big deal. No one noticed. No one cares. When I went to like work or to school with no makeup for the first time, I was like, you know, feeling a little like, you know, no one cared, no one noticed, no one pointed it out, because people don't really notice or care as much as you think they do. And then also I think but it was so refreshing, you know, because I noticed. And I know what's going on with me, and I care what's going on with me. But for me, it felt very refreshing. It felt like, wow, you know, I have nothing to be afraid of. And also, I am learning to just love myself in my natural form, in my bare face, and like see myself in all those, in that form, you know. And it's okay to embrace that. But I guess that wraps up the video and what I wanted to say to you. I did post a newsletter detailing more updates of my life, and definitely subscribe to my free newsletter. I will link it down below so you can get email updates from me and about my short film that's coming up. My short film, If She Didn't Get Turned Into a Vampire, is a rom-com. It's a short film. It follows a 18-year-old girl named Valentina on the night of her high school graduation party. And it's basically my take on my friend who saw the film at my event, at my screening. She called it the inverse of Twilight. She's like, this is like the reverse of Twilight. And for me, it was like, I guess I was going for a version of a story, you know, like those teen romance vampire stories, like whatever, Twilight, Vampire Diaries. I feel like often the protagonist who starts out as a human, she either gets forced to become a vampire or she becomes a vampire on her own. Like she just like, you know, goes off with the guy and doesn't really give much thought into becoming a vampire. Like that was my interpretation of it. But also I was inspired by this other book series I read as a kid. It's called Vampire Kisses. It's very niche, but I read this vampire love story when I was a kid, and my short film is what I wish I could have seen, like maybe an alternate interpretation of a teenage girl who gets into a relationship with a vampire guy. And I made my story more like focused on her and it's a love triangle, but it's more focused on and leaning toward her choosing the human guy and leaving the vampire boyfriend almost. But it's also about friendship. It's about a girl who feels like she's been ostracized her whole life. She feels like an outcast, but she also realizes at the end how young she is and how much there is to life, you know, how much she still has to experience and grow, and like she's so young, you know. But yeah, I can't wait. I want to post that film on YouTube this fall, hopefully in October. I'm trying to get everything done and prepared for a YouTube premiere date because I really want to share with you my first fiction short film. I want to send it to film festivals as well. There are some film festivals that don't let you post it on YouTube, but there are some that do. So I just have to look at the ones that will also let me have it on YouTube, because it's important for me to share this film just with the public, with my people. And then I will make other films. I'm going to make a short film for my MFA thesis film for my MFA program. And that one I will send it to film festivals and have a full film festival run. And this is my first fiction short film. I want to share it with you guys. I want to share it with my people. And then later on, I'm going to do the whole film festival run and thing. Because for filmmakers, we send our stuff to film festivals so they can be seen and we can share it with people and be part of the industry, right? And be official. Basically, my thesis film for my MFA program, in case you're curious, is going to be another rom-com, but it's going to be a queer rom-com between two girls who meet at a coffee shop one summer. So that one is going to be a proof of concept for my feature film. I have this feature film idea that I want to shoot after I make this proof of concept. So I'm going to make my short film the proof of concept for the thesis film. My story is called Victoria and Nolita. I've talked about this before in previous videos, and I'm going to post about it on my Instagram as well. But it's Victoria and Nolita. They're two girls who have a summer romance while they're working as baristas at a coffee shop in New York City. Yeah, so I relate to it because I'm a barista, you know, so I know the life. But yeah, I'm rambling at this point. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sitting down and catching up with me. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.